Vanderpump Rules star Scheana Shay says James Kennedy needs to get help following arrest. Scheana Shay has opened up about the recent arrest of her former Vanderpump Rules co-star James Kennedy, who was taken into custody on suspicion of domestic violence. Speaking on the December 27 episode of her Shenanigans podcast, Shay expressed hope that the incident serves as Kennedy's rock bottom and shared details about how she's been offering support to his girlfriend, Ally Luber, during this challenging time. Explaining her initial silence, Shay said she wanted to respect Ally's privacy as she requested, and I didn't want to add to any headlines because she's going through enough right now. While her plan was to avoid discussing the issue publicly, she acknowledged how that decision might come off. "I have spoken to Ally. I check in with her often. I always have," Shay clarified. "But I know it seems like if I stay silent, y'all somehow think I support his behavior, which I absolutely do not." Shay also reflected on her empathy for Kennedy's ex-fiancée, Rachel Raquel Leviss. During their friendship, Shay provided Leviss with a safe space, though Leviss always told me that James was never physically abusive. Shay added, "Abuse isn't limited to just physical, and ultimately it led to her exiting that relationship." Leviss recently reflected on her past relationship with Kennedy, which ended in January 2022. Without naming Kennedy, she shared a heartfelt message on Instagram. "Being in an abusive relationship is confusing because you believe in the potential of your significant other and can't comprehend how someone who says they love you is intentionally hurting you," Leviss wrote. "Bad times can be few and far between. It's easy to minimize the abuse and want to believe the person is capable of change." Shay emphasized her hope that Kennedy will take the necessary steps to heal and grow from this experience. "I do hope that James views this as a rock-bottom moment and is serious about committing to a healing plan versus just seeing this as something that's gonna ruin the world tour or residency or whatever," she stated. Shay noted she's already seen his name removed from certain shows, calling it a direct consequence of his actions. Reflecting on what Kennedy needs moving forward, she said, "He needs to get help, and not just to prevent Ally or some other girl from being subjected to abusive behavior in the future, but to give himself a chance to live life with healthy relationships. And I know he wants those things for himself, and he needs to give himself the proper tools to deal with his trauma that doesn't involve projecting it onto others." Drawing a comparison to her own life, Shay discussed her husband, Brock Davies, and his growth after making some bad choices in his early 20s. She praised Davies, noting that he's no longer the person he once was. "He's an incredible partner and father, and, he's made some mistakes. But he's grown. He's learned from his past. And I thought James had too. Hopefully now he finally will," Shay said. James Kennedy was arrested on December 10 for misdemeanor domestic violence after Burbank police responded to an argument between a man and a woman at his Los Angeles home. According to a police spokesperson, Kennedy was booked for misdemeanor domestic violence and later posted bail. Formal charges are pending review by the Burbank City Attorney's Office. Tamizu reported that a witness allegedly saw Kennedy become physical with the unnamed woman. Although authorities did not observe any injuries at the scene, Kennedy was released on $20,000 bail.